Hey guys, I might sound a little bit different this video, and that is because I am sick, and I'm unsure of it being COVID, or if it is just some extreme strep, since only my throat hurts. It has been for the past few days, but today I simply cannot talk. Sorry about this. How about you leave a like, a comment, or consider subbing to the channel for more Lost Ark content. I was asked about a Bard guide, and honestly I will have to say I am in no way good enough at this game or knowledgeable enough yet to be able to make any guides. Yet. In the future, once I have become more than just a Lost Ark Andy and become a Lost Ark chat, I will make guides and whatnot over classes that people would want to see, over content that they have questions about. So please, I hope that we all enjoy this journey of me figuring things out together. With Lost Ark releasing today for free-to-play players, this made me want to discuss some builds that I have found to be fun and quite good, to be honest. I will say this now, I will never be the hardcore Lost Ark channel, but I also will not be the Lost Ark channel where the community knows me for being a man that shows troll builds. I just want to find more fun and viable ways to play classes that we all enjoy in this amazing game and fun combat. I am a Bard main until Painter releases in North America, and then I will be re-rolling my main to Painter or Artist, whatever they decide to name it. This is a game of many alts though, so if you are new to the channel, hello, my name is Splurky, and I like playing support roles. Shielding and healing my allies is more satisfying than big PP numbers for me. Seeing shields and HP bars go higher makes the small nut the big nut. Firstly, tripods are one of the most build-defining things in the game. They literally change the entire function of an ability and allow for where I think that game truly shines in diversity of builds. For example, my Bard focuses on being more aggressive with amplifying damage from my allies, since most of the time I play with my guild, and I feel confident they will dodge most damage without needing of me to babysit them, so amplifying their damage is more beneficial to our dungeon and raid clears overall. While on the other hand, I like to go more self-sustain and caretaker mode with queuing and random matchmaking, so I can keep everyone alive. This brings to my Paladin, which will either inspire more builds for Paladin, or have a mob of people come after me, demanding I delete my Paladin, and shame me for existing. For me, the Paladin spells involving the sword spells are all very boring to me and unsatisfying, and tempted me to drop the class to never see the light of day. Then I decided I will go against what the website says and see if I can make my own viable Paladin that has a more tailored playstyle to me. So I spent roughly 20 to 30 minutes on stream swapping tripods around and spells around, until I made a more caster-oriented Paladin build. Sure, the melee portion of the character isn't really used, except for some auto-attacking during downtime, but I found that when rotated correctly, I was always casting an ability, either it be shielding, damage mitigation, damage buffs, or damage spells. The only non-golden spell on my bar is charge. I left charge in my build because I wanted the extra mobility for dodging and repositioning, without using my spacebar movement ability, so I would be able to get out of boss area of effect when needed. So of course the typical spells such as Heavenly Blessing, Holy Ground, and your shield are of course the main spells to be rotating, because you are a support. We aren't here to nuke enemies, we are here to keep allies alive and buff them. This isn't saying hey we don't need damage, of course not. This isn't a Trinity style game. We do not have traditional tank, DPS, and healer roles. Sure, Bard and Paladin are support classes, but they are not healers. We need to have our own damage to offer to the group for clearing content. Wrath of God offers both AoE damage, and with the tripod gives an attack buff to the party based off of the Paladin's attack. Light Shock and Ray of Hope with low cooldowns make for great filler spells for dealing damage, while keeping yourself in a decent range position, because unlike Bard where you need to be basically in melee range to make sure everyone gets shielded, Paladin has a much wider range on their shielding ability to cover the party. Besides just preferring to play casters, I just love the way that the Paladin actual spells look versus the melee spells that don't feel very good in my opinion. I have gotten MVP in a couple raids already with this caster-oriented build for Paladin, which makes me happy that I can craft a class to me instead of play around what my class offers for me. Past tripods engravings are more important than most gears honestly in terms of efficiency for how well you will shield, heal, or deal damage, which I personally am not going into detail over as I wouldn't be able to cover them fully. Instead, I will leave in the pinned comments Stoops and Kanan, who are two great YouTubers that are very informational and just great guys. As I get more geared and confident with my ability to make builds, I will share some of the fun stuff that I make. Until then, Splurky and friends might visit Lost Ark soon as the game launches free to play. I hope that for those that have already been enjoying Lost Ark like myself in the early access of the game, are truly enjoying it. I genuinely love this game with all of my heart, and for those that are about to jump into it for the first time, here is my advice. Go slow. While leveling, play around with tripods, see what feels good and what you like. Don't just look up meta builds for endgame and become a soulless meta slave. Have fun with your classes. This being said, building Bard or Paladin as a DPS class instead of a support focused class is a bit troll for the group. Bard and Paladin both have lower damage because of their amazing buffing, healing, shielding, and damage mitigating abilities. So this means that when investing into their damage, it won't be nearly as effective as it would be if that time and investment went into an actual DPS like the Sorceress or the Berserker. I won't shame you if you do build a DPS Bard or Paladin, because they have my favorite spell aesthetic in the game, but others are not as kind-hearted as I am, unfortunately. Don't sprint to the end game and burn yourself out. Lost Ark is a grind game, and it knows that it is a grind game and does it all very well. There is no need to rush to end game to start dungeon and raid grinding. Take your time getting there, and just enjoy and learn the game itself. At level 50 you will receive a character boost to level 50, once completing the Vern quest chain. Once you use that first character boost you will get a second one in the mail while going about all the things you normally would be doing on that character as it is introduced to the world. As you upgrade gear, just dismantle it and sell the junk you get from it for silver, as you need silver for gear upgrades, teleporting around the map, repairing your ship, and so on. Make sure to always keep a pet active at all times. A pet is a small boost to your stats, and is your auto loot, so you don't need to think about looting while fighting. Honestly, join a guild. This is the first time I have ever been active in a guild chat, and honestly it has made the experience a lot better for me. Once you start doing weeklies for your guild as well, that is when you will see even more benefits for being in a guild. As someone who has been playing the game since day one, well, granted not as much as I wanted to since I have been sick, I will tell you that you are not at a disadvantage. We will all be doing the same content soon enough together, so again, do not sprint to the end game and not know what to do. Take your time, learn what the game tries to teach you, because there is a lot in the game. If you feel overwhelmed with the stronghold system, don't worry, because I am still learning what to do with it right now, and I honestly ignored it until reaching level 50 on my bard before playing around with it. I have that approach with most things in games like this. If it isn't needed or mandatory for character progression and somewhat confusing, I will just skip it and come back to it later, once I have everything else established. Once you unlock your boat you will run into something that might either annoy you or make you somewhat happy. I like the sailing feature and its cute little boat boy, as we just chill through the open waters. To get you to use this feature, even after exploring most places, you cannot teleport to places unless you are within the range of that region. If you are in Vern you cannot teleport to Castle Lutheran, and likewise from Lutheran to Vern. Don't waste your battle potions, that will be the green, blue, and purple potions. There will be some other potions that say they fill your class's meter. These are all very important as they are very useful in the endgame content, so please don't use them if you can avoid it, and save them all up for needing them later. Grenades are the same. It's nice to be able to use them to have that little bit of extra damage, and use the ones that are the best against enemies you are fighting. The game will be very overwhelming at first, throwing mechanic on mechanic, activity on activity at you right out the gate with tons of items and features. Just read through everything and take your time. This game is a marathon, not a sprint, so just enjoy your time in game. Also, don't let leveling stress you out, since just doing the main story quest chain will have you sitting at level 50, where the end game begins. If you enjoy the game or my content, consider subscribing to the channel to support me in continuing content creation. See you guys in the next one.